stop it in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within. I stuff for real. I don't.
Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Los Angeles Rams and the Detroit Lions. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The hot, where are you? 59. Rabbit. Move. What's that?
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 24-yard line.
Jahan,
Hey, man. Watch the boot. Check 24.
Lucky 50. Hey, steamer. Here we go, what's that?
They go play action. Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Samson Abukum in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long.
Get in the weight room.
What's that?
From the gun, here's Cousins. Looking deep downfield. And that will be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40.
Let's go.
At their own 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Check.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. Earl Thomas in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
Just like that.
Show. All right.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he will have the 1st down as he gets this to the 47. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. On 1st down, it's Gurley. A gain of 3, 2nd down. With that last carry, he's now over 8,000 career rushing yards.
All right, big applause. Lots of clapping for this one, right? Think about it this way. Along the way, he has passed Hall of Famer Terrell Davis, and now he's starting to approach another Hall of Famer in Larry Zonka.
And a pretty good run as he'll get this down close to a 1st at the Lions' 38.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. Goff going to hand it to Gurley. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Check safety. Check 37.
They'll run. This is Darrell Henderson, and he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll try the air now with Goff. Try to find Cup, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
On second down, Freeman. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Going.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And it's off the crossbar. Oh, he couldn't even get it there. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And shoving his way inside the 35. Touchdown, L.A. Todd Gurley, his 25th touchdown. Tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And they will finally stop him, but a great return gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Going to run the sweep here. This is Cup. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Take over 1st and 10. At their own
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. The run on 1st down gets them a couple up to the 27. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Cousins looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They run. It's Gurley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up 4th down. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
That's it, baby. We don't work.
at their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They find themselves down 13-0 here as they try to get things started offensively. 1st and 10. A running play there, going to get 11 as they get a quick 1st down. 11 yards there and a Lion 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Freeman again, a 1st down carry. Freeman a 1st down and more. And finally brought down at the 43. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run. Devontae Freeman. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Cousins in the offense is going to stay out there. They're going to try on fourth down. They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards. First down. Here's Cousins. Open man. He's got him. The tight end, Hockenson. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. First and 10 at the 19. And this is caught off the deflection. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Again, it's Cousins. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
We go tonight. 180.
Come on.
Hold on. Check.
Gurley Well, he's got the first down and then some. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back.
180. Now you won.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Again, it's Henderson. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
This is caught. It's Cooks. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
Go, come on. 120.
Check right, check right.
Goff going to give this one to Henderson. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
I got it.
Again, it's Henderson. They find some open field here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
I got one.
They'll run on 1st down. Henderson. Room to run again. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Darrell Henderson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Rams tack on to their advantage.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Go, go! The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Cousins. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. A loss of 8 that time, and it brings up 3rd down. Throwing is Cousins. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. They'll look to set up his blockers. A big boot that time, 57 yards the official distance. And the Rams are going offense here with a 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Goff. And that's complete to Cooks. Touchdown, L.A. Brandon Cooks with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. You might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. To throw on 2nd and 6, Cousins. His throw incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held a team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
Cousins to throw for it on 4th. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 19. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
Blue draw Corkers.
They run once more with Henderson. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocking.
And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Second down, it's Henderson. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. The Rams on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. And now a carry here for their fullback. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down. Gone. Man open, it's Cup. He's got it. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. On first down, it's Henderson, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Looking to throw on second down. Goff. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 38-yard line. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Goff going to throw it. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 39. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
3rd and long. It's gone. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Now it's gone. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Throwing now. Goff. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
That's what I do. 17.
Throwing again is Goff. He gets it to Cooks. Brandon Cooks. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well at hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how